What's up, pilots? Nasty here. Today's video is a little more off the cuff. Just so you guys know, all of my videos are a single take and uploaded. This audio that you hear is not edited at all. The video that you see playing in the background is a replay from a game that I had. Just some information for you guys. I appreciate you listening. Today's conversation is going to be revolving around Ultimates and the announcement around that, and possibly some gameplay discussions that I'd like to see them substitute for Ultimates, and we'll see exactly why. Diving right in, these Ultimate abilities are exactly what it sounds like. Striker, unique Ultimates that swing the flow of the battle, or our big flashy moves, kill a lot of mechs, whatever it is that they want to do. The announcement was made that they will be limited to PvE modes, at least initially. They have stated that there's not plans, I guess, yet to put it in PvP, which is great that they have made that known immediately. We are aware that that can be an issue in games, the introduction of Ultimates. So I'm really glad they're taking caution moving forward with that. So I'd like to discuss instead, speculating on Ultimates and what they could be, is what alternatives they can offer for PvP, because it doesn't really seem fair that for those that do PvP, I know there's those guys that only do PvP modes, PvP everything, that's fine, but what alternatives can be offered to those players, and even the PvE players? I mean, we can all see this or see exactly what I'm talking about. I made brief mentions in my first video about these things that I want to see, and I revolved it around mods, and mods that modified specific auxiliaries or weapons on the strikers. So I wanted to delve a little more into that specifically, and what I mean when I say that. And to be honest, I don't want to limit it to mods or drops, so I want to start there. The only reason I had mentioned mods as a way to change the skills of the strikers is because it allows Mashmak to gain more value as a game mode by introducing things that can be sought after, unique drops that change or modify existing abilities on strikers. It gives it more replayability. That's pretty much why there's this interaction between modes that I want to see, that it encourages you to play Mashmak and then PvP and then back and forth between these modes, because that's how you get engagement, right? You want to get these drops in Mashmak to use them in the other PvP tower mode and maybe in PvP, so it just works like this ecosystem. That's the only reason that I wanted to see it potentially as a drop. But in any case, the alternative would just simply be something similar to a loadout, where you just select what specifically you want to load out with your striker. So I want to actually give detail, and I'm going to do that using Microsoft Paint of all things. So I want you guys to flame me in the comments if you like my art or don't like it, just to get across what it is that I mean, that you can modify the striker abilities. Like, what exactly does that mean? So let's start with, I'm just going to make a mech here. This is a wonderful drawing. Oh God. Let's say this is our boy Welkin with his axe, right? And you got a poor unsuspecting grunt on this side. This is terrible. Sorry, guys. So what Welkin has for his standard ability, as you know, is he deploys a force field that surrounds both you and, well, something, or just around your general area. And it's more or less a shape of a box or a rectangle type shape. So instead of this, you could say that you select a loadout that modifies it to change the shape, you could say, to something like a rectangle that forces the opponent closer to you so that there's no vertical movement and only a back and forth movement. Basically, you're just face to face with Welkin, and you can't do anything about it. Of course, this requires to what's the word? Sorry, to balance it so that it's not overpowered. Reduce the cooldown, make it 3 seconds, whatever, up to the developers to decide. But besides that, you could also give him something like sort of a chain ability that tethers the opponent and then pulls them towards him, and then immediately after it deploys the box with a short delay, so it doesn't have to. So this is all integrated into the box, but it simply pulls them in instead, so that you don't have to waste a cooldown for that. These types of changes are, I think, meaningful, and there's a lot of fun they can have. And fundamentally, at least I don't know from the developer standpoint, it seems like it's an easier approach than making a whole ultimate system, or at least trying to balance that around PvP. These are more minor changes they can make to each individual striker, and I think this can be far easier for them to balance. Another idea that I had was, sorry if you hear the clicking, I know, like I said, this is raw audio, so apologies. Another thing that I was thinking about is something like Stego. Stego, let's put some shapes together. Alright, there's our boy Stego. Could have something like a dome that, instead of deploying just in the front, then it can be like a shield that covers his entire area around him. You could say it's similar to Tricera. Tricera covers on all sides minus the top, but perhaps you can have Stego cover literally all sides, including the top, maybe with the reduced cooldown, or maybe you can throw in some healing drones inside. Something simple like that. The best part is that you guys can probably come up with better ideas. I don't main all these mechs, so I don't know all the intricacies, but I'd love for you to put in the comments what ideas you can have for the striker that you use, what modifications you can see being done to their primary, secondary, or auxiliaries that would make their gameplay more meaningful and make you able to contribute on maps that you typically can't contribute to, or modes that you can't contribute to in PvP settings. Another one that I can think of is Stellaris, something similar to like a decoy drone, as opposed to his current stealth. Decoy sends a decoy out and draws the attention of the enemy, the lock-on, while you go somewhere else, or maybe it stealths you momentarily while the decoy is sent out. Or even better, something more badass, it could be something like a shadow clone, right? It duplicates you and it mimics your actions on your target for, let's say, 1.5 times the damage. That's the stuff I'm talking about. That's the stuff I'd love to see in this game. Honestly, it's I feel something that can be implemented far easier and balanced far easier. And the sky's the limit. You know, you can introduce however many of these types of loadouts or whatever it is that they can do with this. Sound off in the comments, guys. I'd love to hear what ideas you can come up for your strikers that you main. This is the stuff that makes me really excited about this game is the potential. And I already love how the game plays. And to expand on this is just, it can make a world's difference for how we interact with it in the future. So that's all I got. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks for watching. Peace.